Okay, so it's time to get cranking on getting the engine out and the transmission. Since there's so much connected to it, really I'm just going to kind of piecemeal it out. So I'm going to take the belt off itself, probably try to get the smog stuff off, get power steering set aside, that way I don't break it loose from the rack and all that stuff. And then I've got a drain bucket down there for the coolant. So I'm going to start with just taking off kind of the front end piece, get this out. I'm going to cut this radiator support here since I'm scrapping the car. I guess it doesn't really matter to me, and that way the engine literally can almost come straight out versus having to go up, you know, and kind of tilt it around and all that. So forget that. You know, I'll do that on the 80 when I have to, but until then, there's no reason to make it more difficult than I need because the car's going to the scrapyard anyway, and the front member's already damaged. Looks like somebody either hooked it or I don't know what they did with it, but it's yanked out forward, so there's no reason to keep it anyway. It was going to be a tubular piece when I got it. So start with that, coolant, belt, some of the accessories off. We're going to get this thing out of here today. Maybe. Alright, so taking the belt off is pretty easy, honestly. You just use it. I'm just going to use a breaker bar. It's got an 18mm socket on the front. You're just going to hook it on there, obviously pull the side, release the tension. And then the belt, you can just kind of take off a piece at a time. So then you can just let the tensioner rest. Once I get off there. Now, of course, since I'm taking the smog pump out now, I won't need this belt. It's just kind of a shame. It's actually a pretty good shaped belt. So, well, that'll be recycled, probably sold to maybe help fund the 80 coupe. So, with that out, now I can start getting off these other pieces and get the coolant draining out. Alright, so as you can see, I'm pretty much ready to start cutting this out. So, power steering pump, everything, most of the accessories off the top of the front of the engine are out. Alternator's been removed, I set it aside, disconnected some of the some hoses from the AC, or not AC, but the air pump for the emissions. Took off the power steering and I just set it aside, belts off obviously. Radiator's out, coolant's all been drained out of it, and I've cleaned up here. And then I've just got everything buttoned up. So, just remember there are some power steering lines that come up on the front here. They just hold onto a bolt. Take that bolt out, take the bottom one out. You can twist them out of the way, so I've got them kind of over here zip tied to the front bumper bracket there. I'll just keep it out of the way, keep it from getting cut. So now, right here at the headlight bucket is literally what I'm going to do. The widest I can go without getting crazy. So I'm going to cut that here on both sides. Take this out, and then this engine, once I take out the mounts and put an engine crane on there, you know, I still got the factory pieces here. It'll be literally just pick up a little bit and take it straight on out. It should be real easy. If I was keeping this car, I wouldn't do this, but since I'm going to tend to the scrapyard, and I don't think anybody else wants more parts off of it, so it's got to go, and it's going in pieces. So let's get started.
sound waves reaching the microphone are changed into impulses of electric current.
No need to worry about your pre-recorded music tapes being accidentally erased. It can't happen.
Okay, so now you see me, now you don't. So the engine really, other than being wider than the frame rails, I have to keep an eye on that. I did use a grinder here just to clean up these edges. Nobody wants to rub a forearm down that and get a nice big gash. So just took a few minutes, cut the sharp edges off of that stuff. No problem there. I'm probably actually going to get some duct tape and put some duct tape over this area just in case. Last thing I want to do is actually, if my wife's helping me trying to get this engine out, last thing I want to do is get her arms all cut up just because I was lazy. So from this point on, really, I guess just get the last couple systems out of the way and get the engine mounts off, and I better put my engine hoist together. So that'll be the next thing, and let's get that done.